probably the most popular pathway that choline is going to have in the body is phosphorylation into phosphatidylcholine. And phosphatidylcholine is the most abundant form of choline in the body, and probably one of the pathways that we think about the most when we think about what choline does in terms of fat mobilization and fat metabolism. So it's really going to be stored in the liver and help break down those fats and mobilize and metabolize that fat so it's not accumulating in the liver.
Welcome to the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast, the latest swine nutrition research digested for you. I'm your host, Clayton Chastain, and today we have with us Jordyn Studer, a technical service specialist at Barentz. So Jordyn, before we get started, would you mind giving the audience a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, of course. I'm really happy to be here. So I graduated from Purdue in 2020 with a degree in animal sciences with a poultry emphasis. From there, I got the opportunity to go to Virginia Tech and pursue my master's degree in poultry nutrition. I received my master's in July of 2022, and from there went on to work for a company called Orpha that's based over in the Netherlands. So I was their U.S. Technical commercial expert and worked, of course, with poultry because that's what my background was on, but also got a lot of multi-species experience as well. So I had activities and experience in both the swine and dairy sector. Was there for a little under 2 years and then made the switch to Barentz as their technical service specialist, where I am over both all monogastric species, so both poultry and swine. I've been there for almost a year, so excited to do things on the poultry side, but also get more into the swine side as well.
At Barnes, we're more than just another feed additive company. We are driven by science, innovation, and an understanding of the challenges you face in the ever-changing world of animal agriculture. We are your trusted partner for new-to-market natural alternative to Choline Chloride, Choline Plus FC, as well as enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics, macro minerals. To learn more about our product offering, visit barnes-ne.com/animal nutrition. Together, there's always a better solution.
Gotcha. So I see on the swine side that you have some experience with choline chloride in swine diets. So to start then, could you give us a brief introduction about what choline is and why we use it in swine diets?
Yeah, so I think choline is one of the nutrients that's kind of overlooked in swine diets. A lot of experience, like I've had talking to customers, sometimes people are just putting it in there to check a box. We've used it for a number of years. We know we need it, but a lot of people don't really understand the full functionality of what choline does. So when we feed choline to animals, it's basically going to have 3 different metabolic pathways that it's going to do in the body. So the first is acetylation into acetylcholine, which is really important in the nervous system. It's going to be stored in the neural synapse and really make those nerve impulses possible. So in terms of brain function, cognitive function, and all that sort of nervous system side of things, acetylcholine is really important. And then choline can also get oxidized into betaine in the mitochondria. So that's probably one of the more familiar pathways. Betaine has 3 methyl groups. It can donate those methyl groups for whatever process in the body. One of the more kind of popular ones is recycling of homocysteine into methionine. So betaine donates the methyl groups. Those methyl groups do a lot of different important things in the body. So that's that pathway covered. And then probably the most popular pathway that choline is going to have in the body is phosphorylation into phosphatidylcholine. And phosphatidylcholine is the most abundant form of choline in the body, and probably one of the pathways that we think about the most when we think about what choline does in terms of fat mobilization and fat metabolism. So it's really going to be stored in the liver and help break down those fats and mobilize and metabolize that fat so it's not accumulating in the liver. And then it also plays a role in cell maintenance and cell structure. It actually makes up about 50% of cell membranes and helps regulate what comes in and out of the cell. So it's a very important nutrient and does a lot of things that maybe we don't really think about.
Yeah, I think the most common way I've seen it used is in sow diets to try to look at fetal development and increasing litter size, at least.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of research that has shown like feeding additional choline helps sow litter size, number born alive, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so with all these ways that we use choline in swine diets, are there any issues associated with it?
Yeah, I've dealt with it a little bit in the past, especially during the summer months. That stuff tends to be very, very hygroscopic, especially in the dry form. So in hot, humid conditions, I'm in Virginia. It gets really hot and really humid here down in the summer. So the dry form of choline chloride really likes to take all the water from the external environment and form these really large immovable clumps. So that could lead to potential issues with feed mixing, not really providing a uniform mix in your feed, and really just not being fun for workers and feed mill workers to handle. It also tends to be pretty corrosive, so you can't really put it in a premix. It's going to degrade your vitamins and minerals if it's, under challenging conditions. And I know vitamins and minerals are pretty expensive right now. So if we put them into a premix, we want to make sure that the values are where we formulated them to be. So more from like a handling and feed mixing side of things, choline chloride can be pretty corrosive.
Gotcha. So with those issues then, are there any other alternatives on the market currently to using choline?
So I think kind of the previous alternative to choline was betaine. During my previous role, we worked a lot with betaine in terms of, methyl donation and some potential methionine recycling. But when you're feeding betaine, you're only, handling that one aspect of choline metabolism. And betaine has a lot of other beneficial effects in terms of osmoregulation and helping with heat stress. But when we think about it from a choline perspective, you're really only fulfilling that oxidative pathway into making betaine. So Barentz has been launching a new product. We started launching it last year about the time I started. It's called Choline Plus. We're working with a partner out of India to bring it to the U.S. market. It's a 100% plant-based product. So our partners in India have complete control over the cultivation, growing, harvesting, processing to make sure the levels of these phytoactives are where we need them to be in order to have the most, beneficial effect to the animal. We've done a lot of U.S. validation research, in addition to all the mode of action work that they've done over in India to ensure that this product is a full replacement of choline chloride. And we've, seen some pretty good results. We've been able to replace choline chloride at about 1/5 the rate in nursery pigs. And also, an additional benefit to that is that it's not going to be corrosive and hygroscopic like choline chloride is. So because it's a plant product, an all-natural product, it's going to be safe to put in a premix. It's not going to degrade other vitamins and minerals. It's not going to, it's going to be a lot easier to handle than choline chloride. So it's been pretty exciting to work with.
Gotcha. So with this product, you mentioned it's newer. So have you done any research yet to see how it works within swine?
Yeah, so we actually just finished up a nursery trial that we saw some pretty promising results with. So our goal was to just be able to replace choline chloride at that 1/5 rate. That's what the product is meant to do, designed to do. But we have also seen some beneficial effects in terms of performance and efficiency that we're getting from the phytoactives that we're not necessarily getting from choline chloride. So the phytoactives in this product have antioxidant, immunostimulatory properties, and hepatoprotective properties that leads us to believe that we can see the performance improvements, with the product compared to traditional choline chloride. So we're fulfilling the structural components of the choline metabolism and everything that it does in the body, but we also see some functional components of this product as well.
Gotcha. Well, I believe that's all the time we have. So thank you again, Jordyn, for coming on the show and sharing all this with us.
Of course, yeah. And we will be at World Pork Expo. You can find us there. We'll be in the main exhibit hall. And if you have any other questions, you can find me on LinkedIn or visit our website.
Yep, and to everyone else, thank you for listening to the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast. Please visit us at swinenutritionblackbelt.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast channel so you won't miss out on the next episode. See you next week. Hey everyone, we're always searching for the latest and greatest research to share each week. If you have a swine nutrition related research trial and would like to come on the show and share it with us, feel free to email the details about your research to hello@wisenetics.com.